What up, Sports Light? This is Magic for your Week 3 Fantasy Football Sit-ems. Now, last week I got some controversy on my sit-ems, alright? I got RG3 sitting. That was last week. I'm sorry about that. That was idiotic. I know. Blah, 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 blah. You ain't got to tell me twice. I'm sorry. I put a little more thought into it this time. Thought about what they've done the past 2 weeks, who they're playing, how their defense is doing. Now tell me if you have any objections about this. I'm going to start with 2 quarterbacks, of course. But never mind. 2 quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford. Playing the Titans. The Titans don't have a good defense, really. But Stafford has sucked it up the past 2 weeks. Now, I thought the Rams' defense was really good. I truly did. That's why I'm like, RG3 sitting. I learned RG3 did pretty good against them. Stafford had, 3 interceptions, I think it was, against them week 1. Last week played the 49ers. I know a tough defense. Only had 1 touchdown. 14 points. He's averaged 14 points a game, had 14 points both games. That's not enough for you to get a W in your fantasy for a quarterback. If you have a better quarterback than Stafford, start him. Now, quarterback, this is one that nobody should even have on their team, I think. Jay Cutler, playing against the Rams. Cutler sucks. Cutler is a terrible quarterback and does not deserve to be in the NFL. He yells at his players, and I'm sure his whole team hates him anyway. This guy cannot play football. 4 interceptions, got sacked 7 times against the Packers last week. This guy, no. Don't start him. Trade him away. Get rid of Jay Cutler. Drop him. I don't care. Anybody in the NFL is better than him. Blaine Gabbert is a better quarterback than this guy. So do not start him, please. Sit him. Running backs, moving on. This is going to be a big surprise for everyone. Might get a little controversy with this one. Michael Turner, who just killed it, somewhat killed it, against the Atlanta Falcons. He is on the Atlanta Falcons. Against the Denver Broncos on Monday night. The reason I'm saying this, the dude only had 42 yards and a goal line touchdown. That's all he had. He didn't have that many fantasy points. I was up by 6 or 5 in one of my leagues. Turner was the only person on the other person's team left. He beat me by 4. So he only had 9, 10, maybe 11 points. Turner did. Only 42 yards is not enough. He's playing the Chargers. They've got a pretty good team this year. Don't start Turner. He was also just arrested Tuesday morning. I don't see him starting much. I see Rodgers, their backup Jaquiz Rodgers, doing a little bit better than this guy, because they might be like, okay, you're going to get arrested. We can't play you as much because that's not right. We got to punish you somehow. So do not sit Turner. Sit Turner. Don't start him. What other running back is Reggie Bush against the pretty good New York Jets defense. They struggled real bad against the Steelers last week, but their defense still is a pretty good defense. Reggie Bush did great. I think he had 31 fantasy points in a standard league last week. He did great. And surprisingly, it was against the Texans, I think it was. No, it wasn't. Who was it? Jaguars? Couldn't tell you. Might have been the Texans. No, the Texans was week 1. Who'd they win? Who'd they beat? Whoever it was, he did real well. I don't see him doing well this week against the Jets, or as well. If you have better running backs than him normally, play them and sit him, please. Also, an injury update for running backs. Ahmad Bradshaw for the New York Giants is out for tomorrow at Carolina. Do not play him because he's obviously not going to be playing. You're going to get a big goose egg, big 0 for him if you start him. Wide receivers. Hakeem Nicks. This is an injury update again for the Giants. He is going to be out tomorrow at Carolina. Do not play Hakeem Nicks. Had a great game on Sunday against the Buccaneers. Him and Victor Cruz. But do not play Nicks this week against Carolina because he's not playing. He's out. Now to my actual sit-ems. Dwayne Bowe against the Saints. Dwayne Bowe had a pretty good week last week. Saints defense is all right. I just don't see Dwayne Bowe getting that many fantasy points. Saints defense is not bad, and Matt Castle is not an elite quarterback. This guy still needs to learn how to play a little bit more. So I don't see Dwayne Bowe getting a whole lot of points. There are better receivers out there than him. Wes Welker is another one. The past 2 weeks, Wes Welker has not done anything. I think he might have gotten a touchdown last week, but that's about it. He got like 20 yards and a touchdown. Maybe even less than that. I have him on one of my leagues. 1 point, I think it was, first game. I think it was about 9 points last game. 10 points in 2 games is not good at all. He's also going up against a really good Ravens defense. I don't see him doing well. I'd sit Welker if I was somebody like you guys. So now, moving on to tight ends. This guy was a sit for me last week, but I never sat. I mean, he played before I made the video. Jeremichael Finley against the Seahawks. The Seahawks have a great team this year. I'm very excited about seeing the Seahawks play. They're my second or third favorite team, not sure, but they have a good defense, good offense. These guys are flowing good. Packers might kill him. I don't see him killing him at all, but I don't see Finley being a factor in this game unless Jennings is out. But Jennings is out against the Bears, and he still didn't do anything. So I'm gonna say sit Finley no matter what. If you have another tight end, play that other tight end. Now the other one is tight end Tammy, Jason Tammy. Is that his name? Jacob Tammy for the Denver Broncos going against the Texans. The Texans have a great defense this year. I wouldn't mess with their defense. I had Tammy in one of my leagues. He didn't do anything. Had like 1 point last week against the Falcons, and Falcons aren't the best defensive team. Texans, I think, have a better defense than the Falcons. So I'd sit Tammy if you would have, like I said, another spare tight end. Throw him in there instead of Tammy. Or throw him in there instead of Finley. If your tight ends are Finley and Tammy, you're screwed. I'd put Finley in. No, I'd put Tammy in if your options came down to Finley or Tammy. But I doubt it is. So, there are my Week 3 sit-ems for fantasy football. Hopefully you guys won't yell at me as much for these sit-ems. But I'm Magic. Hope you enjoyed it. Game tomorrow, Carolina at New York Giants. Let's go. Football time, Week 3. Ravens Nation. Let's go. Bye, Sports Flight.